You're applying effort, but you're getting no results. You are operating with a flawed set of laws. You think muscle growth is construction. You think you are a builder, adding bricks to a wall. This is wrong. Your body is not a construction site. It is a forge. Your muscles are not bricks. They are high-carbon steel. And you have been trying to shape steel by asking it to change. You've been trying to build a sword by gluing it together. It will always fail. It will always be weak. You cannot build a blade. You must forge it. This requires a different physics. It requires fire, pressure, and an absolute understanding of the material. You are not a builder. You are a blacksmith. This ends now. We are throwing out the failed blueprint of construction and replacing it with the immutable laws of metallurgy. This is the law of force dynamics. This is the physics of the forge. It is a three-part protocol that mirrors the exact process a master forger uses to turn raw, brittle iron into an unbreakable blade. You are not exercising. You are applying a process of transmutation. First, the heat of deformation. Second, the impact of the hammer. Third, the shock of the temper. Most men fail because they apply one but not the others. They heat the steel but never hit it. Or they hit cold steel and the system shatters. Injury. Today, you learn to control the fire. You learn to wield the hammer. You learn to respect the quench. Today, you become the master forger. The first law of the forge is non-negotiable. You cannot shape cold steel. A blacksmith who hammers on cold iron is a fool. He wastes his energy, he damages his hammer, and he achieves nothing. This is the man you see in the gym, just going through the motions. He is hammering on cold steel. Your muscles exist in a state of comfort. Homeostasis. They are cold. They have no reason to change. Your first job as a forger is to apply the heat. In our new physics, this heat is mechanical tension. This is the fire. This is the deep, searing, focused burn of time under tension. You are not just lifting a weight. You are heating the material to its point of molecular change. You are forcing it into a pliable state. Heat the steel. You must create a demand. You must hold the muscle in the fire of contraction until its very state begins to change. The amateur seeks the pump. The master forger seeks the heat. He knows the real change only begins at a critical temperature. That burn you feel, that lactate buildup, that is not weakness. That is the signal. It is the signal that the steel is glowing. That is the permission to begin the real work. Embrace the fire. This gives the mind-muscle connection a new logic. It is the act of focusing the flame. Are you just moving the bar from A to B? Or are you driving heat into the target muscle? When you squat, are your legs just bending? Or are you pressurizing your quads and glutes until they feel like they will melt from the intensity? This is the law. In your career, you cannot solve a problem you are not willing to engage with. You can't find the solution from a distance. You must put your mind into the fire of the problem. The gym teaches you to love this state, to be calm while the steel glows. You must change its state. Stop hammering on cold steel. Stop wasting your reps. Go to the forge, choose your weight, and apply heat until the material becomes pliable. This is the first law. You have learned the first law. You've accepted the heat. If you are ready to pick up the hammer, then seal your oath to the forge. Hit the like button. It's not for an algorithm. It's your signal that the steel is hot, and you are ready to strike. The steel is glowing. You have achieved the first law, but heat alone does not create a sword. Heat just makes hot steel. It is malleable, but it is not stronger. To forge the blade, to give it density, to give it an edge, you must apply the second force. You must apply the hammer of impact. This is progressive overload. The blacksmith places the glowing, pliable steel on the anvil, and he strikes it. Hit the steel. Every strike of the hammer is a heavy, perfect rep. It is a physical shock to the system. This impact is what compresses the molecular structure of the steel. It forces it to align. It hammers out the impurities. It makes the material denser. This is what you are doing in the forge. The pump work, the burn, that was the heat. The heavy compound lifts, the 5-rep set, that is the hammer. This is the hammer. You are not just lifting, you are forging density. You are compacting weakness into strength. Most men fail here. They love the fire. They love the burn. It feels safe, but they are terrified of the hammer. They are afraid of the heavy set. They are afraid of adding 5 pounds to the bar. So they heat the steel, then just let it cool. And they wonder why they are still soft. They wonder why they have no edge. Do not fear the hammer. The hammer is the point of the exercise. The heat was just the preparation. This law states that the impact must be progressive. It must escalate. The blacksmith doesn't just tap the steel. He strikes it with increasing, calibrated force. If he hits it with the same force every time, the steel stops changing. Your system is the same. The 135-pound bench press was your hammer for last month. Today, it is just noise. The system has adapted to that impact. It requires a heavier hammer. This is the physics of your life. The challenges that made you strong 5 years ago are your warm-ups today. You must seek a heavier hammer. You must find the next impact that will force your character to become denser, stronger, more aligned. This is the law. You must not only heat the steel, you must strike it. You have done the work, the fire of tension, the impact of the hammer. The blade is shaped. It looks like a sword, but it is not finished. It is just a hot, stressed piece of shaped metal. If you were to take it into battle, it would shatter at the first blow. The steel is brittle. It has no integrity. It has not hardened. The third law of force dynamics is the most critical. It is the transmutation itself. It is the shock of the temper. The master forger takes the glowing, hammered blade, and he plunges it into the quench, into the oil, or the brine, or the water. This sudden, violent shock of cold is what locks the new molecular structure in place. It transforms the brittle, stressed metal into hardened, resilient steel. This is the alchemy. This is your recovery. This is your sleep. This is your nutrition. This is your stillness. You do not grow in the forge. The forge is where you deform the steel. You do not grow under the hammer. That is where you impact the steel. The hardening, the growth, the transmutation. It happens in the quench. It happens in the dark. The amateur blacksmith hammers all day, heats the steel, and then just leaves it on the anvil to cool slowly. This creates soft steel. It's a process called annealing. It makes the metal weaker. This is the man who trains for 3 hours, then gets 4 hours of sleep. This is the man who destroys his body and then feeds it garbage. He is annealing his own strength. He is creating soft muscle. He is creating a brittle system that will shatter under real-world pressure. You must respect the quench, the 8 hours of deep sleep. That is the shock that locks in the gains, the high-quality protein. That is the solution you are plunging the steel into, allowing the carbon to bond and create the new hardened matrix. This is the ultimate discipline. Not the work, but the rest. Not the fire, but the water. In your life, this is the same. You cannot be on 24/7. The CEO who never unplugs, the operator who never stands down, he will shatter at the moment of highest pressure. You must strategically quench your mind. You must lock in your learning. This is the final law. Harden the steel. This is the new physics. The laws of force dynamics. It is not one thing, it is the system. 1. The heat. You apply tension to make the muscle pliable. 2. The hammer. You apply progressive impact to make the muscle dense. 3. The quench. You apply strategic recovery to make the muscle permanent. Fire, hammer, water. This is the law. You cannot cheat it. You cannot skip a step. You cannot hammer cold steel. You cannot leave a hot blade unhardened. But when you master the system, when you become the master forger, you are no longer just working out. You are performing alchemy. You are transmuting raw iron into unbreakable steel. You are forging an unbreakable body and an unshakable mind. The forge is waiting. The fire is lit. If you are ready to stop building and start forging, then subscribe to this channel. This is not a channel. It is your apprenticeship. This is the guild. And for your final oath, your mark as a master forger, comment below with the words "E Steel Forged." It is your declaration that the brittle iron is gone. The work is complete. Now, shut this off. Pick up your hammer. Go to the forge.